Hello everyone, welcome to Halo Moon Tarot. This is your weekly reading for Aries. How are you guys? Aries, let's pull out a couple of cards, see what's going on for Aries. All right, ooh, some of you are standing up to someone for your beliefs here. You betcha, yep, you're off on a new path here. You're heading down another path. I do see a windfall of abundance coming your way too. There's change coming. Yeah, I see good fortune coming your way, career opportunities, lucrative contracts, maybe purchasing a new home, but it's this path. Wow. Yeah, there's been a lot of moon energy. It's all about intuition, and this card is listening to your intuition, paying attention to the signs from the divine, unnecessary worry, let go of your fears. Okay, everything's going to work out for a reason. And I do see you're going to get some revelations. You're going to get some clarity as you go down this path. Yeah, some Cancer energy. Yeah, see the dreamer. You have dreams, things you want to fulfill. This is why I feel like you're kind of on this path here. And I like it because I see a new start. You're trusting in yourself, pushing aside fears and taking a leap of faith. Yeah, so there's definitely been some sadness. See, it's the energy of focusing on the negative. And I do think you have a person who's pushed you away. I do see lack of clarity, confusion, illusion. See, when things start to get confusing and complicated, this is when you need to leave it behind. Yeah. And I do see this energy of something maybe didn't turn out the way you wanted. There could be forgiveness of yourself or others here. But look for the blessings, okay? Look for the blessings coming your way. Yeah, because see the moon, there's confusion, illusion, things that aren't clear. Yeah, we got someone here who's thinking things through, decisive and focused, driven, but often defensive. So someone may have felt a little defensive here. Someone's choosing, this is about the way someone communicates. Somebody rushed in and maybe backed out. They likely have a regret here. Somebody feeling a little foolish. But I got to tell you, if you stood up to someone and you're now on your own path, I feel like you're going in the right direction. You're just reflecting and leaving all this behind. Let's have a look at the Seven of Wands. This is about believing in yourself, standing up for yourself. Yeah, you may have stood up to someone here. Someone who wasn't talking, communicating, someone who's not stepping up to the plate, they keep you hanging. It's a person who often makes a lot of excuses. It's often someone who just isn't talking. They don't talk or they don't know what to say. It could be someone feeling a bit confused, but like I say, I feel like you've stood up to someone here. And it could be this person. Maybe they don't know what to say and they pushed you away. But you're off on this path, yeah. Seeing truth in a situation, enlightenment. Yeah, you're going to have a victory here. Yeah, this is somebody, see, it's a lot of baggage. This is an energy where someone often blames someone else or they're just not reliable. I do think you're going to put some boundaries up. This is about boundaries because I do think there's someone here who kind of lays all the burdens on you or maybe blames you and they never take blame. So that's that little aha moment. These are the signs and the signals often that caution you. Okay? Someone who comes in and lays all their burdens on you or they blame you for everything or it could even be relationships where they put all the baggage and burden on you. You see, and it starts to become very confusing. So this is why I feel you're reflecting on it, leaving it behind. And I do think this is an energy of, I do see forgiveness. See, just leaving it behind. You can be very forgiving here. I feel most Aries can be quite forgiving. Let's have a look at the dreamer. Yeah, see, it's lifestyle habits, the way someone conducts themselves. See, I feel like you have faith in yourself. It's about morals and values. You have someone here where you don't have shared values. You're just not on the same page. Could be somebody who's just kind of like, it has to do with looking for hidden blessings. So there's a blessing in disguise here. So let's see what that is. Yeah, see a little test, taking a step back, seeing things differently, seeing the truth, the light. Some of you are going to have a victory here. But I do think there's someone who probably should have stopped making up excuses, or they should have communicated. Because if somebody pushes you away, this is where you decide to just go down another path. You just leave it behind. Yeah, it's like enough is enough, right? Tell me about this Ten of Wands. Yeah, see, rising like the phoenix from the ashes. I love it. I feel like a lot of this is yourself. A painful period in your life is over. Now, it could be someone you're dealing with. So sometimes the person embarrassed. They don't know what to say. They got something bothering them. And sometimes it's personal. Like I say, it could be embarrassing, but it's when people don't talk and communicate. This is someone who needs to take a good long look at the situation. Because it is a painful period ending. And I do see some of you are rising like the phoenix yourself. You're leaving this behind here. I don't know if it's somebody not faithful, loyal, or they won't commit. But it's trying something different, doing things different. Somebody's kind of wishing things were different here. But it is someone taking a step back. See, feeling something is off. It doesn't feel right. Now someone's seeing things different. Someone's let go of some baggage. It could be someone getting something off their chest. But I don't know if they're feeling very good about it, though. Yeah. This could be something that's already happened. Yeah, see, there's change coming. And this is often growth and change for the better. I feel like some of you are dealing with someone who probably is looking at this differently. See, it's all about calm. It's about being patient. And I do think someone here knows they need to make some necessary changes. I think it's somebody who doesn't communicate properly. And I do think they're having an aha moment, because it has to do with being able to go down this path. Someone who needs to follow their heart, but they also need to make lifestyle changes. Tell me about the Hierophant. I see contracts, negotiations, agreements. You may have had an agreement with someone and they didn't follow through. Someone who doesn't stick to their commitments. Yeah, you might be losing interest, but see, this is someone who is trying to be patient. I do think some of you were being patient with someone here, and believe me, for an Aries, it's not easy. But it's where you feel something just feels off. It doesn't feel right. Someone ghosting someone, ignoring them. They're not talking. It could be something bothering them. They need to get off their chest. But it could be the other way around. So just take it as it resonates. And it probably is the case. But like I say, I feel like this is an energy of interest. It's about investing. See, this is somebody who... I think you've lost interest in someone here. Because of this situation, but it's creating change. Somebody here knows lifestyle habits, the way they are, needs to change. Because it's almost like someone expects the other person to take all the risks. Yeah, tell me about temperance. Yeah, see, you're tempering your passions and your emotions. You're being patient, but I feel at some point you lost patience with someone and you stood up to them. Because they're acting like they're not interested, or they're just not talking, you know. Yeah, interesting. But you know what you want here too with this, because you're changing your focus. Yeah, if you are a masculine Aries, you could be dealing with a Sagittarius. I do see Sag energy here. This is often a Sag energy too, but you can see that Phoenix rising after a painful period is over. Something hurt. Someone maybe felt stabbed in the back, but it's all about releasing it. The sun's starting to shine. There's going to be clarity. But I do think you're on your own path. You're just doing you. I do think some of you have a real problem with people who keep you hanging. They don't follow through. You can't rely on them. So I do think you're kind of just doing you and relying on yourself. You're very independent with this energy. Tell me about this change coming. Yeah, a lot of change and growth. Yeah, some of you, whatever it is that's happened in your past has changed you, probably forever. But this is beautiful abundance coming your way. So I feel like some of you are now feeling like you're ready for something new. You're definitely choosing your battles. But I do think you have a person who rushed in and backed out. They came in pretty quickly here. And I do see it's generally someone who's decisive and focused, but often defensive. Now, if it's somebody who blocked you or pushed you away and didn't give you a chance to defend yourself, yeah, you might have lost interest in this. But like I say, I feel like you're changing your focus. And I do think you're just doing your own thing. But I do feel like you're open to offers and opportunities. Yeah. Tell me about this Page of Cups. Yeah, so someone who's still single. See, looking out, there's got to be something more. I'm going to tell you, you deserved better, Aries. You deserved better, okay? And this is what someone is looking at. They know it too. Aha, you deserved better, but you're also single. Yeah, I feel like you're just doing your own thing. You got a lot of abundance around you. You got a beautiful energy coming in. Tell me about the Ten of Swords. Yeah, see, this is someone who never lays the foundation. They're apprehensive. See, it's a person who just doesn't follow through. They don't know what they want, or I don't know. I mean, this is just someone who, comes in to lay the foundation, but they really never follow through. So you may have had an agreement with someone and they didn't follow through. Yeah. And if this is something that keeps happening, and I wouldn't be surprised, this is where you just start doing your own thing. Look at the abundance that you have now. Yeah. Tell me about the Seven of Pentacles. See, it's a cycle ending. You have a new cycle beginning. I see good luck coming your way, abundance. See, it all has to do with timing. Something about the timing. And I feel like it's telling you it's time for change, where you move on from someone because they're never going to change. You may have a person who just wants to be single. If you got a person who just wants to be single, then just leave them there. But this is often someone who's looking out there. There's got to be something more than this. See? It's often someone who doesn't want to put all their eggs in one basket. And one thing I know about you, Aries, is either all about me or you're not interested. And it could be someone having this aha moment. Yeah, because I don't think you're waiting around here, You're just kind of on your own path here. Yeah, I do see multiple opportunities coming in, things speeding up. There's momentum and change coming. You could have a person thinking about coming back around. It is possible. But if you had something on and off with someone, this is where you push the stop button. Because this is where the good luck starts coming in. See, timing. So I do see just in the nick of time. Opportunity coming in. I do see someone feeling a little overwhelmed, a busy time. Some of you do have a lot on your plate. And I do think you're very independent. But this is a learned behavior. You've learned to be this way because nobody follows through. They don't commit. They're not reliable. Yeah. And this is why I feel like you're out of here. Been there, done that. Yeah, I don't think you're interested in someone who's blocked you or pushed you away or didn't follow through, because you're seeing the signs. You're going, aha. Yeah. And it could be someone who's already done this recently. But look at that. See, it's somebody who always wants you to cooperate and compromise. I feel like you've sacrificed enough. I feel, and I do think there's someone around you knows you deserve better. Because it's about cooperating, compromising, compatibility. You want someone you're compatible with. You're a doer. You want to get things done. And you've got people who just you can't rely. They always want you to cooperate and compromise with them, and they're not willing. And this is why I feel like you're going down this new path. I do see a lot of creative energy. Your creativity just really expanding here. Let's have a look at the Empress. Yeah, there's light at the end of the tunnel. You're moving into way better times ahead. There's better times ahead here. Yeah, this is light at the end of the tunnel. Applying lessons you learned. I do think there is a person who rushed in. Maybe they got overwhelmed. I don't know. But it does look like you got someone coming back around. See, somebody here is an avoidant. See? The avoidant. But I also see you getting acquainted with someone here. Yeah. So there's something turning around in your favor here. Tell me about this Six of Swords. This is light at the end of the tunnel. Oh yeah, there's happier days ahead. You got some happiness, emotional fulfillment. I do see celebrations, weddings, gatherings, a bunch of people getting together, but I do think you're seeing the bigger picture. And it could be someone here who's in that energy going, aha, seeing the bigger picture. You do things. You want to get things done. You want someone to do stuff with. You want to create. This is someone who creates their own world, their own path. See, anyone who doesn't want to tag along here or go along with this, you're just going to leave them behind. But you're moving towards really happier days. Yeah, I see you making a decision, a judgment. See, you're shedding and you're releasing all these people who aren't reliable, don't follow through. They make up excuses or they communicate in a way. This is the one that always gets me, the one who communicates. It's never clear what they really want, but they want you to indulge them. Like, fill my cup, you cooperate, you compromise, you be the one to, you know, carry on the conversation, whatever it may be, but they want something, but they won't tell you what it is. So this is where it becomes confusing. I feel like you're not dealing with this anymore. You're going down this beautiful path. You want someone to do stuff with. Yeah, you've healed. You've had a tough time in your love life. I do feel like you have. And you are shedding and releasing all this. All these people, situations who, you know, you can't count on them and rely on them. They're not there for you when you need them. But I do think you are someone who's there for people. This is the thing. And I do think you've been bending over backwards to please. See, you've sacrificed enough. You're tired of pleasing people. You're tired of sacrificing. You're tired of the one with all the weight. See, this is somebody who puts all the burdens on you, but then they never make a commitment. In other words, no marriage, no commitment, but they lay all their baggage on you. They don't carry their weight. You can't count on them. So they put all this weight on you. And I feel like you've been there, done that. And I feel like you have had a tough time. I'm going to tell you, you deserve better. And there's someone here who knows it too. Yeah. You deserve the best. Yeah. See, you've got opportunities coming in for love, but you want love. Like the real thing, not the fill my cup, indulge me kind of person, you know, where you give them what they want, you bend over backwards to please them, and you never get what you want out of it. So I feel like you're just leaving it behind. And I do think you've got people who are, I don't know, I feel they come in with a lot of baggage. But you just doing you, you're on this path, and I do think you're moving towards love here. Yeah. I do. I feel like this path you're on is like a lot of abundance coming, a lot of positive change and growth. And I do think you know that there's someone here who will probably never change, and that's why you're doing it. It could be somebody who's, you've had something on and off, some of you, and it just seems to keep going the same way. Yeah, so it is about stability. I see some Taurus, Virgo, Capricorn energy. Some of you have dealt with this. This is an energy of someone who's stable. They like to plan and prepare ahead, but it's about cooperating, compromising. It's about compatibility, someone who wants to do things. See, company, companionship, maybe even friends first. Who is the King of Pentacles? It's a stable person, the King of Cups. So they are emotionally available. See, this is someone here who, I think this person knows you deserve better. I do think this is someone who wasn't cooperating and compromising. Because you've had a tough time in your love life. Actually, so is this person. They've had a tough time too. They're also someone who bends over backwards to please. You know, they never get what they want. They always end up paying all the bills, all the baggage. You know, they end up with everything on their shoulders. When you're with someone, you're supposed to work together as a team and lift the weight off your shoulders, team player. Yeah, you got a person here. I got two people who are emotionally available. Yeah, you're manifesting something here. There's definitely desire, but it has to do with communication. I do think some of you want someone with communication skills. I do think there's a lot of them that you deal with people with lack of communication skills. You want someone who's a good communicator. You also want someone who does stuff. Tell me about the Three of Pentacles. Yeah, see, weighing the pros and the cons, juggling. Some of you working multiple jobs too. But some of you have someone who's, the grass is always greener, and this is why they never want to commit. So you've been there, done that. You've been through a lot. You might be comparing this person to others. You might see them in a more favorable light. Yeah. But it is telling you, you know, to look at what you're manifesting. I do feel it has to do with communicating. I do think you're choosing your battles more so than the person around you at this point. So there's some Gemini, Libra, Aquarius here too. But yeah, it's all about thinking things through. I do see, you know, maybe somebody comparing you to someone else, but this is more about an inner struggle. Some of you have had something on and off with someone. But it is about somebody calming down and making a decision. See, I feel like you got someone who just can't make a decision. Yeah. So they burden you with... That's part of it. I mean, I just feel like you've got a lot of weight on your shoulders. Yeah. You can see there's opportunity coming in. And I do think you have someone who has other opportunities. And I don't... one thing I'll say, if it's not about you, you're not interested. Guaranteed you're not going to be interested in being someone's option. You got way too much good stuff coming in. I do see opportunities coming in, though, and I do see someone procrastinating. It might even be yourself a little bit here, but I see a King of Pentacles in this energy. Yeah. Gemini, Libra, Aquarius energy. Taurus, Virgo, Capricorn. And a choice. Crossroads. You have a decision to make. See, some of you, you got a situation that's not going to go anywhere. I do think you know. You already know. Someone who doesn't put all their eggs in one basket, they treat you like an option. It could be someone coming back around, but it's like, I don't know, there's one of these that just isn't going to go anywhere. Now, as far as the other one goes, it is very possible. It's about crossing paths with someone here. It's all about taking things to the next level. I see a little fantasizing and romanticizing too. You know, I do see someone with some Leo energy. It's a person who's confident, tame the beast. But it is, I see kindness, compassion, maybe forgiveness. Someone could be extending an olive branch. But it's also the energy of someone who's feeling confident. Yeah. Yeah, some of you have been kind of waiting. I'm going to be honest, one of these isn't going to go anywhere. The ship's already sailed. It's too late for someone because now you got another person. Yeah, you got someone coming in. There's definitely waiting for the one. See, some of you have been just doing your own thing. You've been on your own path waiting for the right person to come along. So somebody is. And I do see a spark and desire. There's desire. It could be someone coming back around to that. Someone who's had feelings for you for a long time holding a torch. It is possible this is a person who... So whoever, there is someone making necessary changes, big lifestyle changes. Because it does have to do with cooperating and compromising. Now, if you had somebody who didn't want to compromise and they wanted you to sacrifice everything, and it has to do with maybe moving and relocating, you might be seeing the bigger picture. But like I say, trust your intuition. Yeah, someone here is, there's definitely a spark, a passion, new beginning. There's desire here. Yeah, you got someone new. I do see some strong Leo energy. Yeah, somebody who's a little more confident about what they want. But you've definitely got people who lack confidence. And I do see kind of feeling like it's hopeless here. Yeah, someone who didn't focus on what they had. They didn't focus on what they had. Now it may be too late because I do see you've been waiting, focusing on yourself on this path. Now there's someone coming in. Some of you could even have multiple options here. I think you're just going to keep your options open, you know. But I do think you're single, you're independent. And I do think this is someone who kind of needs to be needed because I do see that energy of the reason why you're independent. Someone's going, aha, see, you deserve better. But I also feel this other person's feeling beat up too. They've also had a tough time. Yeah, so there is an energy of the star. Ooh, this is interesting. And this generally shows me one of these situations just isn't meant to be. This is someone who's probably not your type. Something feels off, lack of chemistry. But I do think you're looking at it. You see possibility. You see the possibilities. If it's not you, it's the other person. It kind of looks like this King of Pentacles. The King of Pentacles and the King of Cups are the same person. But I do see that Aquarius energy too. So this is someone just releasing, just letting it go. It's just not meant to be. It is what it is. But it's an energy of expectation. See, somebody here maybe thinks you have too high expectations or you expect too much. I'm going to tell you right now, you deserve better. And I see it. Could be someone who feels like you're out of their league, but I mean, it's more about raising the bar, your high standards. Some of you need to maybe raise your standards too. Not so much what someone looks like, but what they can give, because I feel like you're the one doing all the compromising. And you really got to watch out for anyone who comes in with that, fill my cup, give me what I want, maybe, right? Watch out for that, especially those on and off. But this is where things go in your favor. Someone definitely sees you in a favorable light. And if you got two, you definitely see one more in a favorable light. But it's about who comes in. See, it's all about what you're expecting here. Yeah, someone here is planning, preparing. See? They're preparing for anything. They're looking at all the possibilities, how this could play out. So it's basically a masculine preparing themselves for whatever comes their way. Tell me about the star. Tell me about the star. Yeah, see, the moon, the sun, the moon, and the stars. You're everything to someone. I'm going to tell you, you are everything to this person holding a torch. Someone's loved you for a long time. I've seen this in another reading. I don't know if you're even, are you aware of this? Are you even aware? If you aren't aware of who this is, a crush, a longing, someone who's holding a torch. If you're not aware, you're going to become aware. But this is deep emotional energy. It's emotional intimacy. I mean, you've got abundance. You've got, there's change coming. Something changed you forever, too. Like, I feel like you're on this path. But there is light, and I do see happier days ahead. I just see a decision. But this is healing and shedding all this baggage, letting it go. Yeah, you and another person both here. Like I say, I mean, there could be two people here coming in. But one of these people is someone who is more of a provider, more nurturing and caring, somebody who's kind and compassionate. Something you've been waiting for. See, waiting for the one, the right person. And that's where I feel you've got a person. Some of you, it's someone who's loved you a long time, but it is about making choices. The spark, the desire, see, becoming aware there's an attraction. I think it's someone becoming aware that you got a new person. But it's how this plays out. Because someone's preparing, because it has to do with what somebody's expecting. This may not be who you expect, because there is somebody new too. Ooh, this is interesting. I do see clarity. See, this is about everything being cleared up from the moon, clearing up confusion. Some of you felt like giving up. You just feel like, you're beat up. You feel like giving up, but so does this other person. And this is someone you're either going to cross paths with, or you have recently, and you've just gotten acquainted. But it could be somebody here becoming aware of that. So just be aware what you're manifesting, okay? Yeah, but it looks as though like you're just about ready to put something behind, and here someone comes. Or it's just two people have something in common. You've both felt like giving up, King and Queen of Cups. Yeah, you got a cup coming in. You may not be expecting this. Their cup overflows with emotion. Offer, invitation, maybe to travel, visit. Yeah, but it's all about being aware, Aries. Take care. Bye for now.